Hi everyone and welcome to the Emily and Joe show with just me today. Joe's not here, but I have 4 important topics I want to discuss today. 1, the psychology behind the crazy pricing you are seeing out there in the real estate market. Why is this happening? 2, I want to talk to first-time home buyers today. 3, first-time home sellers. Yes, there is such a thing. And the 4th topic today is predictions for the 2nd and 3rd quarter of 2022. There's about half of sellers right now listing their properties below market value, wanting over asking price, and the other half are pricing about where they should be at, and they'll accept an offer about their asking price. This is extremely confusing to the public, which has prompted me to do this video today, and I want to explain what's happening and give a little shout out to agents and sellers today. So back in January, I put my first listing up, trying to feel out the market to see what was happening after the holidays. And we had 26 offers on the home, back-to-back showings. So I knew it was going to be another very difficult month of bidding wars, and it was. Very quickly, it shifted, okay? The 3rd week of February, I remember it fondly. We put up a few listings and we didn't have as many showings as we were anticipating. We didn't have as many offers. So we basically been in a 5-week market shift, and where we're landing at right now is we're in the middle of this chaos. It's like the perfect storm of confusion out there. So right now what's happening the 1st week of April is we have more inventory hitting the market. The demand has decreased. Why has the demand decreased? Well, I'm gonna say buyers get frustrated, they're tired of losing on a bidding wars, and they really aren't liking the prices they're seeing, so they tend to back off. There's also interest rate changes going on, lots of talk and anticipation of lending changes for investors. There's also global events happening today, and when people are unsure of what's about to happen, they do tend to back off and wait. So in January, we had about 1 week of inventory, which is insane, meaning if there was 200 houses listed 1 week of January, there would be 200 sales. And that's why everything hitting the market was flying right off the market. What's going on right now is things have shifted. The demand has decreased. The inventory keeps building up. So right now, I'm gonna throw some numbers at you guys. We have 33 price decreases across the board this week and 29 price increases. What does that mean? That means people are confused. Listing agents and sellers are selecting a strategy, hoping to get the result. It's not necessarily working. There's a lot of different angles here, okay? We could have people listing their house lower because they're hoping for a bidding war. They're not getting as many showings, they're not getting the multiple offers, and they're not getting what they were hoping for. So they're canceling at a low price and they're relisting higher, 100 to 150, sometimes even $200,000 higher. There are 61 cancellations this week on our board. Now guys, out of the 61 cancellations on our board, 30 of them have relisted. So it means half of the cancels actually decided to cancel their listing, and the other half canceled because they are going up at another price, either lower or higher, it doesn't matter, but their strategy didn't work and now they're trying something different. Okay, so this week we had 253 solds across the Niagara board, 36 were conditional, and 217 were pending, meaning they went firm. The big number to be mindful of is the number of new listings. 324 new listings. Out of the 324, about 30 of them were those relisted houses that were just canceled. Now, right about now, your mind's going like this. What did she just say? And you're rewinding that. That's okay, I'll give you some time to rewind and take that back. So when we have 253 sold and 324 new listings, roughly, I want to paint a picture of every week there is a carryover and a spillover of new listings that are not getting sold, okay? So there's more listings coming on, there's less houses selling, which means in another 3, 4, 6 to 8 weeks, there's going to be a lot of inventory buildup. One thing I want to say about the crazy pricing going on is this. I think that we have been operating in a market where if your house doesn't sell in 4 or 5 days, something's wrong. Okay, sellers are panicking. All of our brains are programmed to sell fast because we've been in that fast mode. But what my message today is this: sellers and listing agents, be patient. Out there, the public is very confused. If you run into a buyer right now, they are confused and they're frustrated, and no wonder why they are backing off right now. They don't know when a house goes up if that person is expecting 150 over or if they'll take an offer 20,000 less. They have no idea. They have to actually make calls and do their homework and try to get out their mind reading technology. So let's stop confusing everybody. and let's start pricing properly. It starts at the listing agent level. The listing agent is responsible to educate the client and give them their options, but they're also responsible to know the last 2 or 3 houses, which strategy did they try? What was their results? Don't just pick a number out of the air and say, well, it'll sell what it sells for. Let's just hit the market and underprice that sucker $200,000. Will it work? Sure, it will work sometimes because there are some buyers out there that still will get attracted by a really low price. I do want to note that I am speaking with a lot of buyer agents right now that are telling their buyers to not play those games. So if you hold off offers on your home right now with all this pent-up frustration with buyers, it's actually backfiring in some situations. I want to make it perfectly clear, it is still a seller's market. I'm very positive the inventory is coming. I can see it already each week. Our demand has decreased. So we are in a shift that I feel is bringing us to a more balanced market, but it is still a seller's market and there are still houses going into multiple offers. But instead of like January, early February, where houses were getting 10 to 15 offers, we're seeing, I would say on average, if there's multiples, maybe 2 to 4 offers. 50% of the time it's working and they're getting multiple offers. They're not getting 20, they're getting maybe 2 or 3, kind of sweating at the end of the day, okay? And the other 50%, it's not working at all. They're not getting their desired outcome. They're not getting the showings. And at the end of the day, they have only 1 offer for asking price or they didn't get any offers. And those are the people that are canceling and putting those prices up $150,000. With that said, I do want to explain that our job is to educate the clients on their options and they still are in the driver's seat. They can still say to us, okay, Emily Berry, I know that you want me to price properly right now and maybe, you know, our house will sell in 2 to 3 weeks, but hey, we actually want this sold fast. We're gonna leave for the weekend. We want you to get as many showings as possible and we actually are going to choose to underprice our house to try to get a bidding war. I have to go with that because that's the client's choice after I educate them on what that looks like. What does that look like? It looks like typically more showings, okay? So more inconvenience for the sellers. Some families just aren't built for that. Some families have 3 big dogs and children and they actually can't get out of the house all day to accommodate 7 or 10 showings. So what they might do is opt for, okay, we want to list properly. We understand we're going to get less showings and it could take a little bit more time, but we're okay with that. Again, guys, let's be patient. Let's operate normally. Okay, if a house takes 10 to 12 days to sell or even 3 weeks to sell, oh my goodness, it's okay. It's okay. Just shh. Next, I want to talk to my first-time home buyers out there that have been watching the market, that have been frustrated. Maybe some of you got nervous at different points in the last few years, held off. Now you're regretting it because the market went up again. And now you're thinking to yourself, am I ever going to get into a home? I am already seeing homes. I'm scared to even say this on a video right now, but I am seeing homes sell this week. And I know they could have got more money in January. So our market's going to cruise, I think. I think it's going to cruise. I don't see it going like this, buyers. So please take a deep breath and maybe get some hope back that this might be the year you might get into a home. Heading into the summer, this is the first summer where there's no restrictions. We have been in a 2-year COVID lockdown. Everybody wants to go away. I know a lot of my friends and clients are booking vacations, and I really, really feel like by the summer, this buildup of inventory not selling every week, we have about 100 homes being listed that are not selling. That's gonna spill over. What this means is I do anticipate that we're gonna be able to get conditions in for our buyers. This is very exciting. So home inspectors, get out your equipment and your briefcases and your gadgets because I think you're gonna see a lot of bookings coming up in the next 90 to 120 days. Guys, I love conditions. Conditions protect everybody. When we accept an offer with no conditions on a property, it's scary territory. I don't know where that money is. I have an offer in front of me. Okay, there's a strong deposit. I sign it with my seller. The sold sign goes up, okay? But there's still that element of, even though I ask a lot of questions on the other side as a listing agent, there's still that, hey, are they even gonna get their mortgage approved? Are they gonna be able to close? There's still gonna be those properties, there's still gonna be those hot properties that, 5 or 6 people might go after. But you know what? I'm hopeful that we're gonna see conditions again, and I'm hopeful for my home inspector friends and my mortgage broker friends that, hey guys, it's nice to send you a conditional deal where you can breathe a little as opposed to throwing those agreements at you that are firm. You better get this done for the client by closing day, right? And you're like, what? Little note about appraisals. Back in January, early February, I was really concerned about appraisals. We had houses selling way over asking price, way over market value, where there was no comparables to actually support the sale. So I was on edge for home appraisals. I'm a lot more laid back about them now. There's a lot of data to support the prices going on right now. Of course, there's always somebody that could pay way over market value, and those people, you know, if it doesn't appraise, they better be able to come up with that difference, or there might be problems before closing. Okay, where are all my first-time home sellers at? There is such a thing. You bought a house a couple years ago and you're looking to move into something bigger. This is the very first time you are selling a home. I go see people and they're in a house, their eyes are like scared. They're like, what do I do first? I actually really love explaining buying or selling first and really helping them navigate that, because there is a lot to know. When it is a really hot market and houses are selling in massive bidding wars, we have more confidence as realtors allowing buyers to purchase a home firm with no conditions, because we know we're gonna get a lineup of offers on their other home. Now, when the market shifts like it is now and everybody starts listing about market value and houses are taking a few weeks to sell, I become a fan of selling first again. I love the idea of somebody selling their home, getting a long closing, knowing how much money they have, okay, to spend, having a firm sale on their house, putting up the sold sign, and then as all the inventory comes, they have a good selection to pick from. The only risk of selling first, and I will say, the only risk is always not having a place to go if you don't secure a place by your closing date. That's the only risk. Now, to some people, that's a scary risk, but you know what? The risk of buying first firm in a market that's shifting is a lot higher. The risk there is a legal risk. It's a financial risk. It's a scarier risk, okay? I'd rather have to move in with my parents for a month, possibly, okay, than buy a house firm, and now my house isn't selling for what I need to sell it for to make my numbers work, and now I'm getting really, really stressed and I might have to carry 2 mortgages. And the worst case scenario is the bank will not allow me to do that, and then I am faced with breaching my contract on the other side. We want to avoid that at all costs. Who has seen, my realtor friends, sale of property conditions come back? If we can get a condition accepted on the buyer's home selling, that's the greatest thing. That's protecting them entirely, and now we go list their house. By the way, if you are shopping for a home and you are putting an offers condition on sale of property, you better make sure it's not a hot property that's gonna get competition. But if you are lucky enough to get that offer accepted, just keep in mind, people, you need to have your house ready to list. So overall, at the rate we're going, I really feel like by the end of May, this is just my prediction, that we're going to be able to get conditions in for a lot of our clients, more inventory to pick from, and this all equals one thing for me. Local families, you are going to have a chance to maybe move this year. The last 2 years has been really overpowered by investors. The investors have been purchasing about 40% of our homes. There are changes coming down the pipeline and speculation to investor borrowing. There's also investors backing off right now because they just want to kind of wait and see what's happening. So overall, I think this is going to be a great year for buyers to get into the real estate market. I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen in the fourth quarter. It is a big question mark right now, but we do anticipate a slower summer and opportunity for buyers. Next year, the market could go up again, okay? So don't feel like you're gonna invest in a market that's going to crash, okay? Please don't listen to the crash. There are lots of articles going around out there, and I've had a lot of calls in the last week over these articles. National prices going down 24%. Yes, that could actually happen. I do want to point out, though, that there's been a lot of predictions that have been wrong, such as but what we want to focus on always, guys, is Niagara. We're in Niagara. Golden Horseshoe, what is happening here? Now there's stuff that goes on in Toronto and surrounding areas that does affect us, yes, but we will continue to keep you updated. I still feel like Niagara will be a very popular hotspot for people retiring, for investors. So focus on connecting with a local realtor that knows what's happening in your area and stay connected with them. We will tell you what's happening. And when we feel shifts, we will update you. So I know there's a lot of confusion out there right now. Please be patient. Let's all get through the next 30 days. Another 30 days from now, I feel like we're gonna have a really good indication of what's happening. I'm excited for the summer. I'm excited for local families. I really think this is the year we're gonna be able to move some of y'all. I know it's been a tough time the last several years, but hang in there. If you have any questions whatsoever about real estate, give me a call. Thanks for watching.